My name is Rachel Scott, and I am the executive director and one of the founders of Moms for Freedom, which is a sister organization of Moms for America. And we are the global arm of Moms for America.
How did you get interested in working on these issues, it essentially sounds like?
Well, I am the mother of 8 children, and I really support families. I support the idea of families. So when I got the opportunity to assist Kimberly Fletcher of Moms for America to a global effort of supporting motherhood, I jumped right in because I know how important it is to support the role of the family, not only in America, but across the globe.
And we can speak a little bit more about that in a moment, but we were talking before the interview, I think a lot of people, a lot of the sort of young people who are not having kids, they hear 8 children and they're just immediately intimidated. They think, how could I have a career? How could I have my own life with 8 children? How would you respond to those fears that I think a lot of people have?
They're understandable fears. I have 8 children and I had them over 22 years. So I have children that are millennials and children that are Gen Z. And so I see those fears. I've had long conversations with them because I understand where their generation is coming from. It's really difficult right now to have a large family because of the cost of living is so high. And yet, when you meet people doing it, they say all the same things. They say, well, it's not as expensive as you think. It's a lot more fun than you think. But of course, the marriage has to be stable in order to raise a really nice family of children. But I don't know. Sometimes you don't think everything through. You just start having them and you jump in.
Life has a way of coming at you fast, I suppose. Yeah,
It does.
I wonder also, people are concerned about many issues relating to the family. There is this ongoing, not just in the United States, but across the world, fertility crisis. People not having kids, including people in my generation.
Right.
What do you make of that? What do you think is driving that trend?
Well, there are so many countries where the birth rate is between 1.1, which I believe is like South Korea, and also Japan, all the way across the country. I mean, all the way across the globe, there's a lot of countries with very low birth rates. And it's staggering. And the leadership doesn't know what's causing it. They don't know what to do about it. But we're seeing whole societies, if it stays on track, we will see whole people groups basically, I don't want to say go extinct, but they will greatly reduce their influence because there won't be enough people from that people group. But what is driving it, I do think, is I'm not sure we have educated our children to want children. And I don't know exactly what's causing it, but I do believe that parents assume their children will grow up and want children, and yet the propaganda against the family is so strong in so many countries that we're convincing the women that they won't be happy unless they have a career. And we forgot to tell them, but a greater joy is for you to hold your little baby and to raise that child to grow up and be part of your family. Because too many times our young people don't realize 20 years from now, 20 years is going to go by really fast. And all of a sudden you're in your 40s and 50s, and maybe you don't want to do the holidays alone for the rest of your life. Maybe you really didn't enjoy not having children. Maybe you do enjoy your career, but there's might be something more. And so parents have not talked to their children about that. They've made the assumption that kids will just happen, and kids are not happening.
All that money that they might have spent on vacations, they discover there was a family that I should have been building with that.
Yes, and I'm not going to say they're child-free by choice, which is what they call themselves. You can't say that they aren't having fun in the season of life where they could be raising children. A lot of them are traveling and pouring their money into other things. It's just that when you're an older person, you realize that the years go by very rapidly, and you can get all the way into the years when you should be having grandchildren and realize you don't have what other people have. And I think that's when the sorrow starts to set in. It doesn't set in when you're 20 and you're traveling the globe and having a good time. It's when you're 60 that you realize, oh, I don't have what other people have. And a lot of older people are depressed because of that.
Having looked into this issue of the childlessness crisis, the fertility crisis, whatever you want to call it, I know that there have been a lot of attempts through policy, through politics, to try to fix the issue. A very tough issue to fix through the government. But I'm wondering, is there anything that you're seeing either at that level or at the level of raising cultural awareness, anything that you find encouraging in the landscape that gives you a glimmer of hope?
Well, first off, it's really not a political issue. It isn't. It's actually a religious issue. It's a spiritual issue, because when people take God out of the equation, then they take hope out of the equation. So right there, if people have a religion, that is supposed to be what encourages them to have children. The only problem is a lot of churches, that's just a sermon that they don't preach anymore. And so people aren't hearing to have children at home, and they're not hearing it out in the community, and so that's why they're not having children. And yes, what is encouraging to me is that it seems like Gen Z is going to be the generation that restores the family, even though there's a lot of statistics that say that 25% of them don't want to have children. The 75% that do, they want to jump all in. Like, I have so many Gen Z, young 20s and 20-something girls go, I want to do just what you did. And I go, really? Because for the last 20 years when I was raising my kids, people told me I was crazy. And now I meet these young girls on college campuses, and they say, no, I want to have a large family. I want to do what you did. And so I have not seen that in the entire time I've been raising children. So I know that a shift has happened. And I would like to be able to be a voice that supports it, because I'm excited about that.
Well, it'll be very interesting to see as Gen Z continues to age, just what that materializes as.
Right.
Rachel, thank you so much for joining me.
It was so nice to talk to you.